it doing a pro VOD on essentially Kakeru. He is one of the GOATs of the game. I'm not gonna lie, the reason why this button is being pressed so much in neutral is because it's particularly vicious, because if you look at the hitbox versus hurtbox, it is insane how stupid that crouching medium punch is. Right? It's really annoying to press in neutral, so if you really want to annoy your opponent, definitely start throwing out in neutral. Like, it is, I wouldn't say it's better than Luke crouching medium punch, but it's definitely up there with it, right? It can definitely scrap with it. Okay, I want to note the fact that when Kakeru is playing, he's not only focused upon zoning. A lot of you platinum players and a lot of you diamond players, they focus a little bit too often about zoning and don't try to really use the buttons to try and stop and slash whiff punish what the opponent likes to do. And that's the main difference between y'all and the highest tier of JPs, is that they know how to switch between a super offensive play and sort of defensive play and looking for opportunities to take advantage of the opponent, right? These are situations that you generally don't want to put yourself in. The reason why is because when they do this, they're really plus. And let's say off the situation, they go for grab, right? If they go for a grab off this situation, then now they're in and now they can run their offense like they normally would. But the thing is that because Kakeru doesn't particularly want to have to fight Luke up close because he can be egregious, you know, he's pushing him back a little bit more. Okay. Of course, as per usual, please, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, masters, please anti-air with your crouching heavy punch, please. Okay, again, what you can do afterwards, after the anti-air, is that you can try and mix them up. It's a small little mix up and doesn't net very much reward or anything of that sort, but it's nice to throw in there for a little bit extra damage. So you can go for the overhead, or if you can go for the low off of that situation there. Be careful, very mindful of this move, okay? I'm fairly certain the reason why Kakeru went for this low in particular is because he noticed a pattern of him walking back, crouching, then walking forward, crouching, walking back, crouching, walking forward, crouching, walking back, crouching. So in this certain scenario, right, after the anti-air here, there was a walk forward crouch, and then there was a walk back crouch. And then off the walk back, he caught his legs. Hey, at this point, like, JP is so strong that pretty much at this point is pretty much checkmate. I'm probably guessing he's gonna put a far portal. Yep. And then now you're in a situation where you gotta respect this portal, because he can pop this portal at any point, in which sometimes you want to do so, but sometimes you also want to throw out the threat. What you can also do in this situation is, once you've broken them and they're in this situation, you can also go for EX portal. Why EX portal? Is because one portal you can teleport into, and then the other one can be just like this portal, where it's scaring them to want to press anything. See what I mean? Now you're just stuck in a situation where you gotta hold this. There's EX portal. Yep. And now you're afraid of said portal, and you have to keep it in mind. And without parry, you pretty much can't move. Well, even with parry, you can't move, because parry, you're not even moving, right? So it makes it a really hard decision, almost checkmate, basically, right? There you go, whiff punished. It is what it is. Like, pulling up on the situation. The situation doesn't really want to find himself in, because Luke's options are really strong. Yep. Now he's gonna run his typical offense. Ooh, but the delayed jab, okay? I'm not gonna say anything about the delayed jab, because that might be too much of a like complex thing to go about, because there are specific reasons why he would want to go for that, i.e. trying to catch the walk back. But then if I say that, some of you will interpret it as, oh, every time I'm on defense, delayed crouch jab, and then you'll end up losing a lot more than winning, right? This is also a very good anti JP thing. If you notice that your the JP opponent is going for portal that's right above your head, this can be a mix up. It could be same side, it could be cross up. It's very hard to tell. So what you can do is that you can do a jump back button, preferably a button that has a very long horizontal hitbox, and then you can punish them for it that way. The old perfect parry. He's gonna side switch. So the reason why choosing this option was particularly good is the fact that he noticed the fact that number one, he's at 1.5. Okay, he could spend the 3 or right, if you spent the 3, then you would be in mid screen, which is not the worst thing in the world against JP if you have enough life to live it, which he does. If you go for the level 2, you can not only put some damage on the board, not a lot because of perfect parry scaling, but you can put damage on the board, but you can also break them. Now look at the situation he's in as opposed to, say, he did a normal combo, full screen, level 3. This situation is significantly worse. Top of which he saves a bar, which means that if he gets another situation, he can run the same type of offense all over again. So the reason why he didn't just go directly for DI is because Noble is in fact buffering or prepared to buffer level 3. You have to be this is more so for my diamond and already masters. Some of your opponents are going to be already buffering in the not DP, their level 3, so you want to make sure you're a little bit more mindful of that. Okay. With that being said, it's an easy closeout from there. And this is how strong JP is that sometimes even if you have like 70% up and you have like 1.5 left, you get put in such a situation where you just pretty much get cooked, right? Let's move on to the next replay. Okay, so in this next replay, let's see how this goes. Unfortunate, he just got hit. And then we run the typical Luke offense. Is particularly a reason why you don't want to find yourself in the corner against Luke, right? And the worst part about it is that pretty much a lot of his routes hurt a lot, so we can't make bad decisions, right? We got to make sure that our decisions are very good, I guess you could say, and they're educated. The best way to put it is that we make educated decisions based on what tools the character has, right? And even then, you won't have 100 like what happened to Kakeru. So this situation is something that goes not only for JP players, but across the board. Okay, it's a little bit of a risk because if your drive reversal is off, he blocks this and you end up getting a big punish, right? But with that being said, this is advantageous for you because in this situation, they did button drive rush, which means they use 3 meter. Okay, for drive reversal, you're using 2 meter, which means you now have the advantage in drive gauge. And like I'm always saying, drive gauge is one of the most important meters to keep a track of because it can set the entire pace of the match. For instance, let's look at the last match that we just watched at the end. The Luke player, he had like 70%. JP only had like 20 to 30% left. And he ran it all the way back with help of level 2, of course, but also having full gauge is a great thing to have as well, right? Hey, anti-air, just keeping them locked. See, I want to also note the fact that we don't gotta do too much on offense, right? Right here is that spacing. Let me find the perfect place to pause here. Right here is that spacing. Right here. Reason by right here, if we slightly walk back, that crouch and medium kick whiffs, we whiff punish. If he tries to jump, he's still in front of us, we can crouch and heavy punch it. If we want to try and check him, we can standing heavy punch and check it. It's the perfect range to do whatever we want to do on offense, right? You see what I'm saying? Like clockwork. Unfortunately, he dropped a combo. Reactions. Is he gonna spend anything? No, he's not gonna spend anything. Yeah. The reason why he didn't have to spend anything because he had so much meter and health to work with. He could decide to not be to be a little bit greedy with his super gauge. Although it would only take a level 1, he was still pretty optimal with it, right? Now you gotta guess, because he can either A, do the target combo to overhead low, or he could just keep pressing crouch and medium kick over and over again. And he also has a command normal, which is an overhead. You see, that's what I was talking about, the target combo that goes into the low. He can either do that, or he can just press crouch and medium kick over and over and over again, and you kind of have to guess. In both cases, it confirms. Now he's in a situation where he kind of has to do something, because if he doesn't do something off of this engagement, he will get burnt out. Right. Making sure that our play is not too hasty. And while this does work, now he no longer has level 3, or he might make a level 1 based on that health and whatever he does. Might make a level 1, but level 3 is officially off the table, which means like those 50% combos that he had available is no longer available. And now he's burnt out, and because he's burnt out, he literally is checkmate. And just like that, you know what I mean? Like, and just like that, it really is. You get wrapped up. This is why learning how to control your level 2 and what mix-up and options you have with level 2 are so important, right? If your back is to the corner and you hit them, you can do a mix-up into, you can do like a standing heavy punch or a crouching medium punch into level 2. Gotta guess, right? Once they guess, if they guess wrong, you can switch sides. If their back is to the corner, now they have to guess crouch medium kick, or you can go into your target combo overhead, target combo low, and you just gotta guess. And whenever those level 2 parts are hitting, you're also actively losing drive gauge while that is happening. So it depletes your drive gauge, and once that's done, then you basically have like very little drive gauge. And honestly, the moment you're forced to do something aside from like perfect parry, which is like trying super, and even the fact that he got supered, it's perfectly fine, because now that you no longer have super on the table, you can't do big bombos and you lose. Anyways, appreciate y'all stopping by for the pro analysis. Any questions?